The new season for World of Tanks console has finally been released, and we've got some information to cover for you guys today. So let's have a look at what they've actually released, what tanks we can pick up, what's in the season pass rewards, and of course what sort of events are going to be coming out as well, and some of the extra little bits of goodies that Wargaming have actually given us. So first things first, of course the new season does start on the 26th of March, which is Tuesday. So as of watching this video, it is the upcoming Tuesday that we will be able to get the Tigers season, which is what it's going to be. And of course you can see some variant of course, a Japanese tank destroyer, and these are the Kari, or at least a version of them, which I'm assuming will be coming into the game, whereby we'll be able to get the Japanese tank destroyers for the first time. And with that, of course, inspired by Japanese and samurai cultures, Tiger Season is a season where your success depends on your dedication to your duty and brethren, so summon your courage, charge into battle and complete the season challenges to earn points and rise through 100 levels full of rich rewards. That's what Wargaming have said. Anyway, we'll have a look at whether those rewards are actually decent or whether they're a bunch of garbage. So, starting off, we have the reward highlights and season pass information. So let's have a look at what the key rewards are for the free season pass that you don't have to pay any money for. And this starts off with some garage gear. These are Japanese wooden lanterns, etc. Japanese stone lanterns, nothing too spectacular there. Of course, including silver, gold, boosters, premium account, the normal standard items that you get from the season pass. But of course, the highlight of the actual free pass is the Orochi Oni. This is the tier 8 Oni that is pretty lackluster. 215 pen on a premium heavy tank at tier 8, very bad. 253 kind of premium pen at tier 8, not particularly great. The damage 330 is pretty limiting. However, you do have the option of picking a 15 centimeter, which I would probably recommend anyway, since you're just a smaller gun might be more competitive on a kind of standard basis, but if you wanted a competitive tank, then playing this one probably isn't the way to go, so you might as well go for the fun option, which is that 700 alpha damage gun. And of course, firing the HE rounds, as they are going to be able to deal constant damage, probably in the region of about 300 when you hit them with HE, even when you don't pen. And if you can find lightly armoured vehicles with 75mm of armour or less, you should be able to deal 910 damage. So it's kind of one of those derp cannons. Of course, we'll do a video on this vehicle as soon as we can have access to the tank, and hopefully it'll be a useful one for you guys to see exactly what I mean in the gameplay. But yeah, other than that, it's a slow Japanese heavy tank at tier 8, which is not particularly that great in my opinion. Moving on to the actual season pass. So this is the full season pass for 2000 gold. Apparently it's not loading, but there we go. So it starts off with, of course, all of the bog standard items that you get. It costs 2,000 gold to actually pick up the season, and it comes with the heavy tank number 6. This is the first vehicle that you will be able to pick up. It's nothing particularly too amazing, but it's kind of like a Tiger at tier 6, similar to the Citadel Tiger, but just a Japanese variant. It's interesting, but other than that, it's nothing too major. I think people will enjoy it, but I don't think it's, going to be game breaking or anything like that. It's been in the game for a long time, and it's probably fell victim to being one of the kind of power creep vehicles. But that's unlocked at level 25, so it's the first tank that you'll pick up out of all of them. And then you move on, and at level 75 you get the American tier 8 tank destroyer, the TS5. And this vehicle is actually a really, really fun one to play. Think of a Doom Turtle, or I guess the Tech Tree T28. And it's a premium version of those, which is actually quite fun vehicles. I enjoyed playing both of them, and this one is certainly one of them as well. So hopefully that'll be kind of interesting for you guys to test out. We've got videos on these in the past, and I'm currently working on providing you guys with a huge spreadsheet, or at least I'm trying to set up a website as well, but for the meantime I'm setting up a spreadsheet so you guys can access all of my rankings for all of the vehicles that I've played recently, along with the links to videos, and especially with regards to equipment setups that I use in various tanks. I'm trying to make it so you guys can have access to all of the tanks, the ratings, if you're wondering about whether this tech tree tank is any good, or whether you're thinking that this premium tank is worth the gold, you can see on the spreadsheet. And you should be able to search and filter by various different tanks when it does go live, and I'll let you guys know in the videos when it is actually live for an extended period of time, just so everyone knows about it. So if you're watching this, it is being worked on at the moment, and hopefully it will be input into a nice website that you should be able to go on to, and there'll be lots of helpful, useful kind of things on the website as well, such as being able to actually equip different parts of vehicles onto your said vehicle, and you'll be able to see where the dynamic stats of that tank actually change. So say you put a gun rammer on it, you'll see that the damage per minute increases by 157.3, or you know, that you then take it off, it goes back to the standard value, that sort of thing, and that's hopefully what we'll be adding in as well. But anyway, moving on from all of that, the next kind of items, of course, you get the standard kind of, I guess, war chests that you get out of the actual battle pass, which give you, you know, your commanders, your heroes, and your generals war chests. Of course, the standard one gives you a commander's war chest, which is not particularly great. It's the worst one. But when you do purchase the season pass, you'll be able to get a heroes, generals, and an additional commander's war chest as well, I believe, which is great. And that will give you extra gold, and on every season pass you'll always be able to make yourself the gold value back from purchasing the season pass in the first place. Plus you've got a good chance of actually getting premium tanks out of those war chests, as well as getting the guaranteed premium tanks from the event. So it is the best, most worth thing to spend your money on in World of Tanks console. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we've got the Ultimate Season Pass, which does come with the car re. I expected it would be the car re, and of course this begins the introduction, I would assume, nothing clarified just yet, at least from what I've read so far, that the Japanese tank destroyers, the tech tree line, are actually coming in soon. But given the fact that in the past, the car re, of course, all of the premium tanks that feature a brand new tech tree line, they usually get released within about 2 to 4 weeks of when the actual vehicles come into the game. So hopefully we'll be able to get those in the game real quick and see what they're actually all about. Now, yeah, moving on, of course, you do get the car re as part of the kind of, I guess, the season pass. And of course you've got the Object 490 Topol Detente Era 3 Eastern Alliance Heavy Tank. This is part of the Ultimate Season Pass. So the Ultimate Season Pass, you pay 6,000 gold for the actual tank, and you'll get this Era 3 vehicle. Now we can have a look at these vehicles in a second. I think they have them on the article, but essentially you get a load of extra stuff. You get 25 levels already completed, which is good for if you're wanting to just get to level 100 as quickly as possible. And of course you get that Object 490 as well, which is the primary reason that you would buy the Ultimate Season Pass, as it is 6,000 gold. So you're essentially paying 4,000 gold to be able to get the Ultimate Season Pass tank. Plus you get a load of extra rewards on top. That's kind of how I view it, is that although these rewards do cost money in the first place, you're really paying for the tank, and so anything extra is kind of that extra kind of stuff. But of course this is the Tiger Season Garage rewards, so these are what you will actually be able to get. Of course these are predominantly things that you can just place in your own garage and customize your garage. If you think that they look cool, then you can put them in there. Of course if you're not interested, it doesn't matter whatsoever. The Tiger Season cosmetics and medals. You can see here we've got all of the inscriptions and emblems that you can put on your tank. You'll get rewarded with them, and essentially, yeah, you can put them all on your tank alongside the Tigers season medal, which is exclusive to the season. So once you complete it, you'll get the medal to kind of give you a option to put it on. Anyway, additional to that, when you complete an additional 18 levels after rank 100, like the virtual level after completing it, you will be able to receive an additional 25% Commander XP bonus, as well as if you complete 24 additional levels, so a level 124, you'll receive 25% more silver on every battle that you play during the season. And similarly, when you do get to the first level 100, you will get 25% vehicle XP bonus on every game that you play on that season from the point when you get it. You could get it on day one and you'll have 25% vehicle XP until the rest of the season, or you could get it at the very last day and only have that vehicle XP bonus for that day. So it's really down to you how quickly you want to get to level 100 and get the extra bonuses. Other than that, we've got the Tigers starter pack. Now, for those of you that don't already know, the Tigers starter pack, and in fact starter packs in general, get released every season usually, which give you a free DLC starter pack that you just go to the store. They'll be in the DLC section and you'll see that it says £0 or $0 or 0 yen or whatever it might be wherever you are in the world. It will say it costs nothing. You can then purchase it whether you're on PlayStation or Xbox, and you'll be able to receive 3 days of premium, 2 times silver boosters, 3 times vehicle XP boosters, and some 4 times commander XP bonuses as well. So that's nice to have. And then, of course, if you already own all of those Season Pass tanks that were in the game, including the Orochi Oni, the Tiger kind of tier 6 heavy tank number 6, the TS5 tank destroyer, you'll get rewarded with silver. You don't get the gold value, so make of that what you will. And of course then the Type 5 Kari. This is the first Japanese tank destroyer in the game, and so with this it plays up to tier 10, gets a 50% silver bonus. It's a premium, remember. It also has a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour with a main armament that can deal 500 damage. Its standard pen and premium pen are very up there with some of the best at the tier, so it should be able to pen everything. It gets 7 degrees of gun depression, which is surprisingly useful for a vehicle that doesn't have a turret, and essentially your hull traverse and turret traverse aren't particularly too bad. Turret traverse is of course limited by the yaw of your vehicle, so you've only got 12 degrees either side, which is, as I say, very, very limiting on how easy it is to play and flexible that this tank will be. 2-second aim time and 0.34 accuracy with a base damage per minute of 2.1, which is actually not horrific, but certainly at tier 8 it is nowhere near the best, and you will be looking at probably in the region about 2,600 DPM for this vehicle at the end, once you put all of the possible DPM perks that you can, which you probably will want to on a tank that reloads in 14 seconds to do 500 damage. So with that being said, this tank looks like a fun one. It looks like it could be quite balanced, and certainly 500 alpha is going to be quite nice to play. It should be a fun one, but definitely not one of the most competitive tank destroyers that I think you'll find out there. But I am really looking forward to testing this one out and giving it a go. Now then, moving swiftly on, we've got the Eastern Alliance Cold War vehicle, which is the Ultimate Season Pass vehicle. This one is, of course, yet again another premium. It only gets 50% silver bonus, which is certainly one of the lower. Well, it's the lowest that you can get in Cold War as a premium vehicle. And with that, you essentially will earn less than some of the other tanks. However, this tank has 72 kilometers an hour top speed, which is quite nice, but it's an Era 3 vehicle, so you are coming up against weasels and that sort of vehicles in the game. You get 606 penetration, which is pretty good, with 697 on your premium rounds. Your premium rounds are actually APFSDS, so they're pretty good. They are like APCR, so they're not heat rounds, which will get absorbed by spaced armor, which is brilliant. Your accuracy's good, aim time's okay, nothing incredible, but Not too bad. 6 degrees gun depression, and of course a damage per minute of base damage per minute, that is, of 3,839, which is not bad at all. However, the key thing as to whether this tank is going to be any good is the armor, which unfortunately, by the looks of it on the turret, given how flat it is, it's probably not going to be too great. You can see how flat these plates are, and with that, you're going to find yourself definitely in a bit of a sticky situation right here, and of course on the turret. Lower plate looks like it will be penned quite easily as well. Upper plate looks like it's going to auto bounce quite a bit, and essentially it's just another reskinned version of a T72 sort of vehicle. So with that being said, it looks kind of interesting, and we'll certainly play it, but I don't think it's too spectacular. Kind of, I guess, a bit disappointing if you wanted a more novel and unique vehicle in Cold War as the ultimate season pass tank, but it is what it is, and hopefully those weak points are weak points, because it needs some. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't look like the cupolas are too prominent, but they certainly can be penned on the left and on the right there. Either way, moving on, we get the commanders. You've got this commander. You've also got this samurai, which I'll leave up to you whether you think is a cool looking samurai or not. But then, of course, that's kind of cool. I think it's actually quite a good introduction. I like the cosmetic stuff that they bring into the game, providing that it isn't just blatant thirst traps that we've seen in the past. And then, yeah, you've got the season level buyouts, which I would never recommend unless you are right next to the end of the season and you're thinking, oh, I'm never going to complete level 100 and I'm only a few thousand gold away, which will give me a free premium tank, or a premium tank, even though you would have paid to get the extra premium tank. Either way, that is the update news for the actual season, the rewards. But of course, there is the Discord update notes that also come alongside. So the extra bit of information that we have got is that there is some balance updates which are coming to a variety of different tanks. These include the E75, the VK4502B, we've got the King Tiger, the VK1001P, the VK4502P, we've got the Tiger 2, the Tiger 1 Hammer, Tiger P, Tiger 1, Panzer KPFW 7, and the UK FV215B. Now, as of what Wargaming is saying, they have not said what they're going to actually do to these tanks, but they are going to be balanced. I think the E75 is a very, very good, great vehicle at tier 9, so I would only assume that they're going to nerf it. If they buff it, that is absolutely crazy. You've got, of course, the Tiger 2, an excellent tier 8 tank. Probably very, very strong, one of the best at the tier as a heavy tank, and if they nerf it, yep, I guess it could be somewhat balancing it. But if they buff it, it's going to be ridiculous. The Hammer definitely needs no buffs or nerfs. I think it's actually in a decent spot. Tiger P probably needs some more buffs. Tiger 1 is in a good spot. The Panzer KPFW 7 probably needs some buffs. The FV215B definitely needs some buffs. And the VK1001P definitely needs some buffs. King Tiger doesn't need any buffs, in my opinion. And the VK4502B definitely is a contention for getting some buffs. And then, of course, Cold War updates. There's Heat Shells update, which says that this used as a third ammo type are getting an update. Select tanks will have their heat shell replaced with HE, and 2 tanks will have their heat shells replaced with HESH. Then they involve these tanks. I'm not going to go through them all just to save your time. And then there are some ammo cost updates, which they've said they've monitored the impact and player feedback on the recent Cold War economy. And one of the most common items mentioned is to look into the cost of ammunition. As part of this update, we wanted to address the worst offenders list of ammunition costs, and we'll follow up with additional changes in the following update. Most shells costs are being reduced that were too high, but some will see an increase in costs as well. So they include all of these tanks on screen right here. I'm not going to go into them as it will take just way too long and I don't want to waste your time. Just pause the video, take a look at them yourself, and yeah, you'll see if any of the ones that you play are affected. Other events, there is only Our Surely You Jest bundle is back, which includes the April Fool's Commanders and Cosmetics, the Chest Earner, which gives you a free Commander's War Chest, where you get essentially deal 1000 damage in 10 battles. and get one for free, and players can earn 5 chests from the challenge. And then, yeah, that is basically it. Other content, you've got some war chests refreshed as well. ×3 daily XP bonus for the Easter weekend, which is next weekend, and the community quiz is also coming in as well, and you can enter it by the 25th of March to be able to get a chance to win some season passes and stuff like that as well. But of course, if you want to check out the quiz, I'll leave it in the description down below so you can enter it. But you've only got 2 days as of the recording and publishing of this video to actually do it. But it was a really quick run fire through all of that. If you've got any questions, or you think I've missed anything, or you want to add some extra comments, then feel free to leave them in the description. And I always try and keep up to date with what you guys are saying. And hopefully you enjoy this video. And I will see you in tomorrow's video, coming very soon. Goodbye.